Hey guys, 170 out here with another first coffee of the day update. Coffee is good. Hope you've all had a wonderful week. As you can see, my hair's now gone a shade of vibrant pink. It was blue, then it was sort of a combination of bluey purple, and now it's just out and out pink. I quite like it. I'll probably get it topped up ready for topped up blue really for Insomnia next week though, because it was meant to be blue, but I think next time I may just go straight for pink. Yeah, I guess you really quite like it. I'm now actually looking at it properly in sort of like in my preview of the video, I'm like, oh, that actually looks kind of cool. Anyway, as I said, I hope you guys have been well. I'm going to jump straight into what I want to talk about, and then I'll give sort of like streaming updates sort of towards the end. So my first vlog, or vlog, as technically supposed to call it, only noobs call it vlog apparently. I talked about depression. Sort of related to my depression and obviously things that happened with Chester Bennington, etc. Now, since making that video, I've read and heard a few things that I kind of want to talk about, in particular regarding my comment that I made when I said that the conversation around mental health... it's just the door. Conversation around mental health needs to improve. And I sort of think actually maybe I should give a couple of examples of what I actually mean by that. Now, there are many different sort of things that I could start with this, but let's start with the very basic one that I hear a lot, is that depression is not a real illness. That it's something that we can control, or we're faking either for attention or, because we want to somehow mistreat other people. Now, I don't even know how to begin to start the ridiculousness of that. Not to mention how dangerous it is. I mean, if depression is left untreated, the results, unfortunately, are very catastrophic, and Chester Bennington is one very public example of what happens, or what can happen. Robin Williams being another. Now, the biggest problem that people have a harder time understanding, or a hard time believing that depression is real, is you don't see it. Oops, excuse me. You don't see it. You look at me, you probably just see someone who's got very bright pink hair, but it's also someone who's probably just looks a little tired, mostly because it's about 20 past 8 in the morning and I haven't been up very long, and aforementioned today I had much coffee. But even when you sort of meet me face to face later on in the day, you won't see the battles. You won't see the techniques that I'm using to keep anxiety, depression, and everything else at bay. The most visible thing you will see is when I lose. When I lose a battle, that's the most physical thing that you're going to see. Now, a lot of people who sort of say that depression isn't a real illness, they're not doctors. Let's be blunt. They're not trained. They've got no medical knowledge, no medical training. Doctors at the moment, by and large, have got a fairly good idea about what sort of causes depression, but they're still investigating it, which absolutely they should. That's their job. At the moment, the prevailing theory is that it's to do with chemicals in the brain, either an imbalance, particularly around a chemical called serotonin, which my understanding is that it's like almost like the happy chemical. It's what makes you feel good. People who suffer from depression have a lack of that. Particularly with sort of some people like myself, when it's like it is today, it is cold and grey, and basically there's no sunlight. That's when sort of serotonin levels are like through the floor, and the sort of the medication that I'm on, I don't think actually sort of is serotonin. I think it just does something in my brain, so it allows my brain to retain serotonin longer, or allows my brain to create it. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% certain on what exactly it does, other than it is a lifesaver for me. It keeps me, it doesn't make me, hey, look at me, I'm live for the party, swinging from the chandeliers. It gets me on a level sort of playing field, so I can actually start using other techniques. But anyway, so that's sort of the biggest problem, I think. But the conversation around the mental health needs to change. In that you've got to start acknowledging that, that it is an illness, and that it does affect people. But you've also just got to open to the fact that you don't always see it, and that you don't always see the physical sort of side of it. Now, that leads on to the question of, well, how do you make people understand that? The answer is you can't. Then what I mean by that is that if somebody doesn't want to listen, if somebody doesn't want to understand it, there's no point. They're not going to listen. They're not going to, humans have a weird way of ignoring facts that don't suit their already preconceived opinions or preconceived judgments. So you can throw facts at them all day, they're not going to listen. So the question then becomes, well, what do you then do about it? Well, that is up to you. Me personally, I would seriously consider whether I want that kind of person in my life. Now, even by that, I would put social media in that. If you've got them as a friend on Facebook, for example, maybe you should unfollow them and unfriend them. Now a lot of people would say, well, that's just being petty. It's like, well, yeah, but chances are the people saying that are the people you're about to block, which probably says a lot, actually. But this is about you and about your health and about, in a large way, your safety. And social media is an extension of ourselves. It's a very filtered extension, but it's an extension. And I wouldn't want anyone who thinks that I'm faking it or that I'm, not really ill. Or worse, I've seen accusations of that people who are with people with depression are nothing more than their carers. I wouldn't want that kind of people. Wouldn't want that kind of person in my life, in any aspect of my life. So, if you need to, hit that unfollow button, hit that block button if you need to. Do what you need to do to keep yourself healthy and safe. Now, obviously people go, well, how are they going to learn? Well, as I just said, people learn when they want to. People learn, and people will revisit their opinions when it pretty much slaps them in the face and affects them directly. In other words, they'll do it when they have to do it. If they don't have to, if they don't see any kind of need to revisit what they believe, then they're not going to. And ultimately, you're gonna make the decision. Okay, I've tried. This just isn't worth it. This just isn't. It's not worth. It's not worth the detrimental effect that it's having on my health, etc. Now, another argument that's going to come up, almost certainly is going to come up, because well, you're blocking them over a difference of opinion. How is that? How is that fair? So, well, here's the thing. Things that are a matter of opinion for me include whether chocolate is a better flavour ice cream than vanilla, whether certain types of tea should have milk. Those things are a debate for such a matter of opinion. My health, my safety isn't a debate. It isn't something that's just we have a difference of opinion on. You either think that I have an illness, as in I have depression, and are willing to help and support me, or you're not. That's not an opinion. That is not a debate. It's not because, well, it's just a matter of, no. You either accept that I am who I am and I suffer from what I do, and are willing to sort of help me get through the times that I need, or you're not. There is no opinion on that. So, it's coming back to the original right thing in terms of That's where this conversation needs to change, and it's not going to be easy. It is absolutely not going to be easy. There are going to be, as I said, certain individuals are just not going to want to listen, and you need to decide what you want to do on that. But the biggest thing that needs to happen is we need to get people to acknowledge that depression is real. Mental health issues are real. They're not always things that we can control. The weird thing about brains really is that decisions and thought processes are driven by what state of mind we're in at the time. If you give someone a choice whilst they're angry, and then you present them the same choice when they're calm, chances are they're going to make two different choices. Because the way they think and decisions they ultimately come to are driven by their state of mind. Now, if someone's state of mind is gripped by an anxiety attack, or is gripped in depression, you give them a choice at that moment, then the choice that they make at that time, the decisions that they make at that time, are going to be very, very different to the choices and decisions they make when they're having moments when they've got a better handle on it. Ultimately, it's just about understanding, but you can't. And you'll notice I repeat myself quite often, especially when I'm just riffing. You can't force people to understand. All you can do is present the facts, present your experiences, because I think personal experiences are a massive sort of evidence in this, and actually usually quite the more persuasive than sort of just raw facts. But all you can do is present all of that, and it's then down to the other person as to what they want to do with it. Now, I'm talking sort of very individuals when you start applying there's some fairly obvious sort of drawbacks when you start applying that to sort of masses amount of people, but everything starts with one person. I think everything in the world, changes and everything that pretty much started with one person going, hang on a minute, no, this is not right, and then others sort of followed them. So that ultimately is kind of what I wanted to sort of talk about. Is that's what I mean when I say that the conversations around depression needs to change. We need to acknowledge that depression is real. We need to acknowledge depression is an illness. We need to acknowledge that people suffer from it. And I'm saying depression, but you can apply this to all sort of mental health issues. There's something that people suffer from, is people that they need help with. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not real. That's it for me, I think. Now I'm going to go back to drinking my coffee. Streaming update-wise, I will be back. I won't be streaming on Sunday because it's Sarah's birthday and we're going to be spending the day together. Excuse me. I will be back Monday, providing Virgin aren't tearing my internet up again. Hopefully back with some Bayonetta. My schedule next week is a bit different because of aforementioned insomnia. So as opposed to streaming Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So Monday it's going to be Bayonetta. Wednesday is going to be episode 3 of Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I'll probably going to do some extreme golf just to chill out. And then Friday, Formula 1 2017 is out, and I really want to stream the career mode. We'll start streaming the career mode from that. So, excuse me, that's what I'll be doing on Friday. And then I'm insomnia. But there'll be another vlog between now and then. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. And I will see you in a stream on Monday. If you've got any comments, any questions, leave them below. Or email me. Go to 170out.perks.gg. My contact details and everything are sort of there. Next DJ stream is the 10th of September. I am currently working on something a little bit on that. So That's the fact that I can't just throw tracks in a folder and then just go through it. I've got to sort of at least work on the tracks and see what fits, what doesn't, what works, which do I need to cut this track in a bit quicker, etc., etc. That's obviously just down to my own inexperience with doing these things, but that's why I need to work on these things before I do them. But anyway, that's happening on the 10th. Next stream is Monday. You guys have a great weekend, and hopefully next time we'll see. Well, not hopefully, we'll see what colour my hair is next time. Anyway, you guys take care. Bye bye.